Why the narcissist ends up in worse circumstances after discarding you. After discarding you, the narcissist believes they've won. They assume they've moved on to someone better, but this grandiose sense of self is often built on unstable foundations that begin to crack without your steadying influence. Narcissists feed on validation, attention, and admiration, collectively called narcissistic supply. When they discard someone who was consistently supportive or emotionally available, they lose a dependable source they likely took for granted. Narcissists often idealize a new partner after discarding you, but that mask eventually slips. Once the honeymoon phase is over, their true nature shows, and the new person may not tolerate what you did, leading to conflict, exposure, or abandonment. Narcissists expect discarded people to fall apart without them. But when you begin to heal, thrive, and glow up, it confronts them with their own failure to break you, bruising their ego in ways they didn't anticipate. Initially, discarding you may feel empowering to them, but over time, the emptiness of their emotional world returns. Without meaningful connection, their inner void grows louder. After leaving, narcissists often jump quickly into new dynamics, but because they lack genuine intimacy skills, these relationships are often short-lived and increasingly unfulfilling. Narcissists avoid introspection. You, however, likely analyzed what happened and worked on yourself. Over time, this creates a growing gap between your evolving self and their stagnant one. Over time, people start to see through the narcissist's charm and manipulation. Patterns emerge, and their reputation begins to suffer, especially if multiple people share similar negative experiences. When you bounce back and start living well without them, it contradicts their belief that they are central to everyone's life. Your resilience becomes a psychological threat. While you may find new love or friendship that are healthier, the narcissist continues to sabotage meaningful bonds due to fear of vulnerability or loss of control. Narcissists control through fear, guilt, or manipulation. Over time, those around them grow tired of walking on eggshells and pull away, leaving the narcissist increasingly isolated. As more people become educated about narcissistic abuse, the narcissist's manipulations become less effective. Their charm loses its magic when people recognize the signs. After discarding you and experiencing multiple failed relationships, they may begin to view you as the one that got away, especially if you've moved on happily. Recycled tactics like love bombing, gaslighting, or triangulation don't hit the same when people become wise to them. Over time, fewer people fall for it. As they get older, narcissists often fail to develop emotional maturity or insight. This leads to a midlife crisis, failed relationships, or even estrangement from family and friends. When you not only survive but thrive without them, it proves they weren't as vital to your life as they thought. This hits their ego hard. If a narcissist's identity is built on how others see them, and those people begin to pull away or criticize them, their self-image crumbles. Even if they never admitted it, you likely brought value to their life, whether emotional, social, financial, or logistical. Once gone, those advantages are hard to replace. Lies, betrayals, and abuse don't just disappear. Over time, the narcissist's unresolved conflicts resurface through legal trouble, burned bridges, or a damaged reputation. They're stuck in a cycle where they love the thrill of new conquests but fear genuine connection. This leaves them unfulfilled and emotionally empty. To cope with their lack of internal peace, narcissists may turn to substance abuse, reckless spending, or risky behavior to fill the void. Eventually, someone rejects them fast. That taste of being discarded, something they are used to dishing out, shatters their fragile self-worth. Seeing others move on, be happy, or even forgive what happened can trigger bitterness. They cling to grievances and become emotionally toxic over time. Without someone to manipulate, they become suspicious, jealous, or accusatory, even towards new partners, destroying relationships before they can deepen. You may forgive, but others might not. Family, friends, or communities may distance themselves permanently due to repeated offenses. Watching your success, peace, or joy reminds them of their inability to maintain anything long term. It breeds jealousy and regret. Narcissists don't seek help. They often avoid therapy or lie during it. That refusal to be vulnerable means their suffering remains hidden and unresolved. Post-discard, many narcissists quickly enter relationships or business ventures they aren't emotionally prepared for, only for those efforts to fall apart. If you stop caring, stop reacting, or stop engaging, it's deeply unsettling for them. Indifference is more painful than hatred for someone who craves attention. Narcissists often idealize new situations, believing they'll be better than what they left. When reality sets in and disappoints, regret festers. They lose credibility over time. Too many stories, too much drama, and too many victims. People begin to see them as unstable or manipulative and stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. As charm fades and connections dry up, many narcissists find themselves isolated in later life, often without the support networks they once took for granted. Narcissists spend so much energy curating how they are perceived that they feel trapped by it, unable to show weakness or seek real help. Sometimes, only after years do they see the true value of who they let go. But by then, it's too late. You've moved on, and they're left chasing ghosts. Your healing, progress, and peace serve as a painful reminder of what they lack. In discarding you, they lost someone who was once a mirror of their potential. Now you reflect what they'll never become. Now, if you're dealing with a narcissist and you're asking yourself, what happens when they discard you? Their situation becomes worse because their grandiosity will still lead to poor decision making. Narcissists often act impulsively, fueled by arrogance rather than logic. After discarding you, they might make risky or unwise choices, assuming they are untouchable, which eventually backfires. They can also become emotionally bankrupt. Since narcissists suppress authentic emotion, over time they feel hollow. With each discarded relationship, they chip away at whatever emotional depth they might have had, leaving a core of emptiness. They are driven by envy but can't process it. Watching others, especially those they've discarded, succeed or find peace can trigger extreme envy, but they lack the self-awareness to understand or regulate it, leading to bitterness. Because narcissists often burn bridges and overestimate their own value, they miss out on career, financial, or social opportunities, leaving them stuck while others move ahead. They attract people who use them. Once their patterns are well known, the only people willing to engage are often manipulators themselves, leading the narcissist into relationships where they are the ones exploited. They are constantly chasing validation. The high they get from being admired is short-lived. As admiration fades and reality kicks in, they are forced to chase the next ego boost, creating a cycle of addiction to attention. They can't trust anyone. Narcissists often project their own dishonesty onto others, making them deeply suspicious and paranoid, even of people trying to care for them. They confuse fear with love. Because they associate control with intimacy, they struggle to form bonds based on mutual respect. When fear and control don't work anymore, they are left confused and alone. They become stuck in the past. As they age, narcissists often romanticize or obsess over former relationships, including the one with you, because they fail to build anything meaningful in the present. What once drew people in starts to feel fake or manipulative. Eventually, even their best charm routines stop working, leaving them with fewer tools for influence. Once you see through their tactics and heal, they can no longer manipulate you, and that loss of power is infuriating to someone who thrives on control. With no real emotional development, narcissists often act like wounded children, lashing out, sulking, or acting out, while others grow into emotional mature adults. Narcissists create a world of false superiority, constant projection, and denial. Over time, reality contradicts their fantasy, creating deep internal conflict they can't admit or resolve. Narcissists crave reactions, even negative ones. Your calm, silence, and indifference are a louder message than any confrontation, and it drives them mad. Many narcissists think discarding you will destroy you, but when you become stronger, healthier, and happier without them, they are forced to face how deeply they underestimated you. They can't build real legacies. True legacies are built on connection, trust, and empathy. Narcissists often leave behind failed relationships, estranged families, or a trail of broken people, not something to be proud of. Seeing others win, especially those they once devalued, fills them with resentment instead of joy. This isolates them from people who grow and succeed around them. After burning through friendships, relationships, and allies, they often have no one to turn to when life gets hard, because trust and loyalty were never nurtured. Rather than grow or evolve, narcissists tend to fixate on their glory days, constantly reliving old successes while stagnating in the present. The ultimate consequence is realizing they discarded someone rare, loyal, and valuable, and that you are never coming back. That finality is something their ego may never fully recover from. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.